queue open.
Talent, check your spot.
Camera 4, check your focus.
Carol, make sure the phone guests are standing by. Okay, Don, we're ready out here.
Okay, thanks. Let's rock and roll. Count them in.
10, 9,
Here we go.
8,
Flying graphic.
7,
Camera 2, I'm going to be coming to you
5,
first. Stand by to cue mark.
4, 3, 2.
And cue mark.
First off, our old friend Ryan Bomberger, we all have been covering and talking here about his attack that he was under from the NAACP, and I'll just bring him in. Hello, Ryan.
Hey, how are you?
I'm just fine, sir. Nice to see you with us. Thank you for coming on real quickly. Just real quick, give us an update on your lawsuit that the NAACP sued you. Refresh the audience's memory, because we've talked about this several times, what they sued you about.
Well, back in 2013, they sued us because they got a Google alert about an article that I written for lifenews.com, in which the title of the article was The National Association for the Abortion of Colored People. They didn't like that so much and threatened to sue us for monetary damages, for trademark infringement, dilution, confusion, but the only confusion apparently was on their side. They've forgotten that one of the most basic civil rights is free speech. But they went ahead, sued us, and they won at the lower court level. And we just got a ruling back from the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, who strongly rebuked the lower court ruling, overturned it, and said there is in no way, shape, or form any trademark infringement here. This is completely protected by the First Amendment. And so we were victorious, thanks to the Lord, and to the Alliance Defending Freedom, who stood by us the entire time. We're victorious over the NAACP.
That's great. So is this the end of it, or are they going to appeal?
Well, our attorneys were actually kind of shocked that the decision from the three-judge panel was unanimous. And so they weren't really expecting that. And so the expectation before this ruling was that the NAACP, if they were to lose, would definitely appeal it to the Supreme Court. But because of the unanimous decision, they think there's no chance at all, despite the fact the NAACP has spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars suing us over what is clearly a free speech issue. So we think it's over and done, and the emotional burden lifted from my wife, Bethany, and my shoulders, and the Radiance Foundation shoulders is awesome. We're feeling good.
This goes to a theme that we've talked about here recently, and we talked about earlier today. They're not wanting to engage us anymore. They're just wanting to shut us up.
That's right.
And we're not going to be shut up.
And
might as well get used to it.
And Ryan, my understanding is that the court was saying that, look, copyright infringement is one thing, but you guys can't use this to shield yourselves from criticism, right?
Exactly.
And that's what they want to do. They can't take it.
Well, I was thinking the whole time, I might have made this point on a previous show, Ryan, I was thinking, if basically what you did was satire, and that's protected speech. If they had prevailed in this deal, I think shows like Saturday Night Live would be in danger of being taken off the air. Of course,
because they do it for money. That's a commercial transaction. Writing a news article is not a commercial transaction, at least on my part, as a citizen journalist. But the ruling was the same. In fact, the lower court judge said that the parody name is not actually truly a parody because he didn't find it to be funny. So he determined it's not actually a parody. It's not satire.
Because he didn't think it was funny.
No. But the three judges at the Fourth Circuit Court didn't care for his definition of parody, and they clearly labeled it such and understood it to be so. And whether it was a parody or not wouldn't matter. Any criticism, that kind of criticism, is completely covered and protected by the First Amendment.
To me, I mean, I'm obviously thrilled that this was the outcome, but to me, it's bizarre that it even got this far. How could you, even in the lower court, how could you put people on the bench who would have this view that you can be silenced because they don't like what the message is that you're giving?
Oh, perhaps it might have something to do with a liberal black judge appointed by, and I am half white, half black, by the way, people, but a liberal black judge appointed by Clinton, whose wife's sister was a former president of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. Maybe that had something to do with it.
That had something to do with it. But it just goes back to what I've said many times here. The American judicial system is in a state of collapse. And anyway, we don't want to get into that, but we see this all the time. Anyway, Ryan, I'm very proud of you. Thank you for coming on, and we're really happy for you.
Thank you. And I'm just so overjoyed to be working with each and every one of you across this country to keep illuminating the truth, no matter the consequences. I know that's what we do all the time.
Right.
Well, thank you and your family for like you said, it's an emotion, it takes an emotional toll to be in this kind of litigation, and but you know you're advancing a right for all of us, and it's a right that we as pro-lifers need to understand. Freedom of speech. Speech is protected precisely because it's going to offend, it's going to insult, it's going to criticize others. Others aren't going to like it. Others are going to try to shut it down. That's not why it should be shut down. That's precisely why it needs to be protected.
Well,
Exactly.
Right?
the First Amendment was designed to protect speech that people don't like. That's
That they
basically
don't
what
like.
you're saying.
Right.
If everybody likes the speech, you don't need to be protecting it. Everybody's happy, you know.
We're all friends, everybody's smiling.
I mean, I'm offended when I see people go on television and defend the right to an abortion. I'm offended by that. But nobody's arguing that they don't have the right to make their
That's
argument.
right.
And
That's right.
You know, that's the old saying: the cure for bad speech is more speech, right?
Exactly.
And
Amen.
anyway, Ryan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, guys.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye bye. Unfortunately, again, we're out of time. But don't ever forget, Life Dynamics is not here to put up a good fight. We're here to win, because winning is how this killing is going to stop. We'll see you next month.